Hey guys, it's Anna. What's up? About a week ago, I was fortunate enough to go to a Pvris concert. For those of you that don't know, Pvris is a band. You might have even seen their name written before, but you probably read it as Pvris. Apparently there was some kind of copyright situation with another band or like another company, and they had to actually turn the A into a V.
Why does Pvris have a V? Because it's cool looking.
Guess who's back? Steve.
I went to the show with my girlfriend Caitlin and her dad, and it was honestly the best show I've ever been to. I'm really not the biggest concert goer. I just haven't really had too many artists that I wanted to see, but way back when, I used to be a giant Fifth Harmony stan, I guess you could say. Not a stan, I guess a fan. If you watched my videos back when I was like 16, you probably saw a few of my videos. I think I have one that's not privated at the moment. It was when I met them during their signing for their Reflection CD. That's pretty much the person that I've seen the most. I'm pretty sure I saw Fifth Harmony at least 5 or 6 times and met them twice. Other than that, I've really only been to various other small shows. The tour that Pvris was on was a very small, intimate tour. I asked Caitlin before this video, like, what the tour was called, and she said it was just kind of like Pvris Fall 19. So I guess it's kind of just like a pre-album tour. They wanted it to be a few small, intimate shows. I think there were only about 6 or 7. New York was the very last stop on the tour. And it was awesome. The crowd had a lot of energy. It was just like a really good time. So when we were driving down the streets of Brooklyn, which I don't think I've ever been there. I've been to like, I guess Manhattan, I don't know, all the city boroughs, all that stuff really confused me. But I've been to like Times Square and stuff, obviously. I live in Jersey, so obviously I would eventually end up in New York a few times. But I always went with my friends, and we never drove. We would always do like a train ride. But Caitlin's dad was able to drive us in, which was cool. And yeah, the drive there was really easy, really nice. Fun fact, the last Pvris show I went to, my first Pvris show, I actually totaled my car on the way there, meeting up with Caitlin and her mom. So that was a big oops. If you want to hear my car crash story, comment below and I'll make a video about that. I've honestly never thought about making a video about it, but it would be an interesting story to tell. So luckily for this concert, there were no cars totaled. Spoiler alert, nothing bad happened. Pretty much at all. Maybe one thing, but we'll get there. So as we were driving up, I was like, oh, is that it? As I see a line of short people in black, a lot of snapbacks and buttons ups and flannels, and I was like, that's probably our crew. Lynn Gunn, the lead singer of Pvris, is gay.
Hi, editing Anna here. Wow, that's weird. There's an echo. Never done this before. Anyways, I think it's kind of hilarious that I'm totally coming out for Lynn. Like, I'm super nervous and like it's just weird to say out loud in front of people. Coming out is not fun.
Let's just say she attracts a lot of people of the LGBT community. So it was pretty funny, because I just kind of saw a group of like my clan. I honestly felt very naked because I was like, here I am. I'm pretty sure I was wearing this exact outfit. I was wearing like, you know, Adidas track pants, you know, this. I got my chain, like it's pretty gay. So I felt very naked because everybody looked exactly the same as me, which is very weird. Caitlin was cold in line and wanted me to hold on to her so she would be warm, but I was like embarrassed because I was like, everyone here knows I'm gay. Like, lesbians know how to spot other lesbians better than anybody else, and I didn't want people to be like annoyed with PDA, even though there are other people doing a lot more PDA than that. I realized, I like looked to Caitlin and I was like, man, like everyone's really short. Like there were a lot of really short girls there, like couples of girls that are short, and Caitlin and I are both a little bit taller, so we felt like towering over everybody. There was this couple in front of us, these 2 girls, and they, you know, button ups, very your average lesbian. Like, I'm just want to put a disclaimer, I'm not assuming anyone's sexuality or gender or anything. I'm just being silly, but it makes sense like to another LGBT person. Like if I say these little lesbians, like they you just kind of understand what I mean, and I'm just painting a picture in your head of what these people were like. So these two girls, they were obviously together, but they were giving us, like, we were, you know, you're just standing in line, so you kind of do a lot of people watching, not to be like creepy that I was listening to them. But they were talking, and they obviously hadn't been dating very long, and the one was, you know, saying like, you know, let me take you out. Like, I figured New York people, they go out to concerts. I'm sure that's a normal thing to take people on like a first or second date or whatever. So, you know, she was saying like, I want to see you, and they were being like all cutesy and stuff. But then the one girl just started going on about her entire like relationship track record, her dating track record, and it was just super funny because it was like literally all the stereotypes. She was saying like, oh, and then like, you know, and then we broke up, and then I ended up meeting her ex, and then we hooked up, and like, you know, because for those of you who don't know, it's like a big lesbian stereotype that we date, since the dating pool is so small, we date everybody's exes. I haven't really done that, but it's just kind of funny. So everything's good, we get into the show, everything is Gucci, we go into the crowd. Caitlin's dad stays in the back because he just wanted to watch in the back, but we were gonna go up. It's general admission, so we were trying to get close, obviously, because we wanted to be, you know, right there. There was no barrier, so it was just a stage, which is cool. There were these dudes that were, you know, obviously these larger, taller men in front of us, but it was just funny because they kept like, you know, Caitlin would finally have a spot where she's like, okay, like I'll be able to see, and then they, you know, move over a little bit, because general admission, it's like a never-ending wave of people just kind of moving a lot, and so it's very hard to make sure you get your spot. We ended up like, we were in the back, and eventually we were able to get to like third row, practically row, I guess you could say. So at one point we were having trouble being behind these really taller dudes. Like, you know, like I said, everyone in the venue is short, but of course we end up behind taller guys. So we were trying to kind of find an out, but we could still be closer. There was an area where you could go upstairs a little bit, and then there was like it was almost like a mini balcony, and then they had the real like mezzanine balcony. So we were up close, we were close to the railing for the first small little upper area. And there were these two girls that were shorter, and they were leaning up against the rail, and so I noticed that there was an area where we would kind of be past them, like up closer, but we might end up in front of them, and we didn't want to block them. So I told Caitlin I was gonna go just see if I could get in a spot where I wasn't blocking them, but we were also closer to the stage and not having tall people in front of us, and maybe some more room. So I went over, and I kind of was like, okay, like this looks good, and I pointed to Caitlin, like, come over to me, and she kind of didn't want to, so I said out loud, like, oh, like, we're trying to figure out a place where we don't want to block you guys. And they're like, no, it's okay, like you're good, you won't block us. Like, I think maybe they'd seen them again before, or maybe they just didn't really care about being super close. So they let us go in front of them, which was so cool, and I doubt it would ever happen, but if you are the girls that did that, you guys are awesome. I thought about being like, follow me on Instagram, like, I don't know, they're so awesome, and I was so grateful for their kindness because we ended up in a really nice spot. We were really off to the side, so Brian's like, whatever those things are called, the thing where you click and then it's like a little drum, it's like a little pad, I don't know what it's called, but his area was right in front of us, so Brian was right in front of us the entire time, which is cool. The opener was this artist named Upsahl. She's really, really good. I'd look her up. I'll have like pictures and the name and stuff. Great music, great energy. She really commanded the stage, and she had amazing live vocals. All right, so before the show started, we were standing there, and we were getting really close to the show. Like, Upsahl already went on, and so then it was kind of like the moment between so they can set up for the headliner. So then these 4 people come shoving through, you know, they're doing the train, and they're like yelling to their friend that's in the front row. They get up to like, say, the second row, I would say, and this guy just wouldn't move, and they're yelling to their friend. I guess their friend didn't hear them because it was loud. So then somebody decides to be nice to them, even though, here's my thing. If you're one person and you came with 2 other friends and you went to the bathroom and your friends are up there and you're like, man, I want to be with my friends, I'm not going to stop you from being with your friends. That's awesome. But if you just have 4 whole people, like, why can't your friend come back to you? That's not fair. You're running in the way. We didn't see those people in line beforehand, which means they came in later, so they didn't even put in the work to wait to be able to get as close as they could. But someone was nice to them and let them essentially like right in front of us, and there were these 2 people They were both short, and they had your average, like, you know, like short, they had a short haircut, and they were short, and they were both wearing button-ups. So essentially, they looked exactly the same to me, which I thought was kind of interesting. And so they start to like be, the one was making jokes, because I guess they were in a relationship. The one was making jokes to the other two friends about like they were gonna grind on their partner, and like it was just very uncomfortable. And then they started like making out with the back of their partner's neck, which was really disturbing, like literally right in front of me. They were literally right there. And then like during the show, they were jumping up and down, and like I was gonna, like, if they jumped too high, they were short enough but tall enough that they were gonna knock me right in the chin. I was like real nervous. Eventually, towards the end of the show, they ended up in front of Caitlin, and the one was literally like grinding on their partner, and then thus grinding into my girlfriend behind them. I didn't really notice them making contact. Obviously, if they were like running into her, like full on grinding on her, of course I would say something, but it was just kind of like awkward. Like she kept having to step back a little bit because they were like literally just like standing like this. Like, how is this comfortable? Just standing like with your back arched, groping your person. Like, bro, like have some class, please. Like, it's general admission, we're all stuck together. But I tried to kind of like own my space, so I had a lot of extra space. So if Caitlin's view got blocked of the show, then she could move into my space, or she could go in front of me, because we tried doing that for a while. So the show was going on, it was really good. I'm gonna insert some clips. I was really happy because we were super close. The last show we went to, we were off to the side and in the back, which is kind of what we wanted to do it that day, but it is awesome. Of course, you want to get close to your fave. We both love Lynn to death. Like, the boys are awesome too, but you know Lynn, like, she's the main squeeze. So she ended up going, which I'll insert a clip, she ended up being really close to, she started using Brian's little tick, whatever, this, she started using one of those things, and so she was right in front of us. The video I have of it was really dark, but it was still really cool. So the show was happening. It was really good, like I've said probably a million times. So during part of the show, Lynn finished up, I think she did Heaven on the piano, and she came out, and so I just saw that one of the girls, it was like a girl that was front row, center of the stage, called her over. So Lynn came down, you know, she got down on her level, and they had like a short little conversation, and Lynn like looked concerned, and then went to the side stage, I guess, to talk to some of her crew about whatever the girl said. And then she came back, talked to the girl some more, and then she went on the microphone, and she pretty much said like, I'm not accusing anyone. She said if somebody's doing something they shouldn't, cut it out, which I thought was cool. So essentially, I guess this is just what I'm speculating, is the girl, I guess, got groped or something, like someone was just doing something to her that they shouldn't. And also, like, she had the whole weight of the room on her back, essentially, because there was no barriers, so that means you're up against the stage. Like, a barrier is going to give you a little bit of give with all that power behind you of humans, like, pushing you. Like, when Lynn gets close to her, that means the whole world pushes on her. But a stage is going to stay completely still, so you're not going to have any give, so she's essentially just getting stabbed by the stage and, like, choked to death. So Lynn tried to get people to back up a little bit, tried to give her some space, and the show went on, and everything was okay. I always, like, I admire that a lot of Lynn. Like, I know that she has, like, a reputation of being good with, you know, paying attention to what's going on in, you know, the crowd, and looking out for everybody to make sure that everybody's okay. Another thing that happened was, all of a sudden I look up, and one of the girls that was in front of us in line is crowd surfing, and the crowd is pushing her. She crowd surfs towards the stage, and she's like flying in towards the stage. So Lynn, like, looks like, what do I do? Like, she probably knew that this girl couldn't come up on stage, but like, where else is she gonna go? So she reached out and grabbed her hand and supported her, and then I guess the girl just ended up keep getting pushed towards her, so she let her up on stage, and the girl went around Lynn in her microphone stand. Yeah? Okay, thank you. Turning around Lynn, and the security guard started coming running out, and so I guess the girl knew, like, she's gonna have to jump back in. So as the security guard is ready to, like, push her, like, get out of here, get off the stage, the girl then jumps And apparently, according to Caitlin's dad, who was standing in the back, apparently the girl kind of hit the ground. No one really wanted to catch her, so I guess she kind of awkwardly landed on her feet. But Lynn was like singing and then just kind of like glanced at the girl and nodded to be like, okay, you're alive, like you're okay, and she moved on with the show. So during the very last song, Lynn like disappeared side stage, and like we were nervous because there was a side stage door like right behind us, and we're like, what if she comes out? Like, what are we possibly gonna do if Lynn comes over here? But turns out she was going up to the mezzanine to have like a moment to sing the very last song with the people up there, which is cool because, you know, they're a lot farther down. The rest of us got to see her up close because it was an intimate show, even the people in the back. So it was cool to see her go up there and sing with them. So all in all, it was like a really good show. It was well air conditioned. Like, I was the least sweaty I've ever been in a show. I was comfortable. I really wasn't that thirsty, wasn't that hungry. Like, I was good. I stand a lot at my new job, so I wasn't worried about, you know, I didn't really hurt too much. Like, it was just a really good experience, really good positive show. If you've never heard of Pvris or Upsahl, please look into it. They're great artists. They are both on Spotify. If you guys want to check it out, I'm not paid for this. I just really love them. I've been listening to Pvris's music for a few years now, and like literally for the past week, I've been listening to their music. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this like little story time. Let me know if you want me to keep doing videos like this. I have a lot of interesting, I guess, like life stories, and I feel like that's the type of stuff I like to do because I love to talk, and that's the kind of content that I think I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm still trying to test the water, so let me know what's working and what's not working. Like, I'd love to hear your feedback and anything you want me to do or whatever. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you have already subscribed, if you hit the bell down there, then you'll get notifications every time I post a video. Right now I'm not on a schedule. I know last video I literally said I want to do things weekly, but my life is kind of picking up. Like, I just started a new job a little while ago that it's a new business, so I put a lot of work into it, and I made a video for them. I've been trying to offer my experience and my services to them. My family's trying to sell our house, which I don't know if I've said before, so things are a little stressful with that, but hopefully once all that blows over, I'll be able to have a more regular schedule. So please just bear with me. I'm gonna at least try to make a video once a month. But you know, life happens, you know, I'm an adult. It's kind of hard sometimes to find time for things, but as I figure out more what kind of videos I like and what videos I'm able to make, like, things will be smoother. We're kind of learning together, you know, I'm kind of learning as I go. So thank you so much for giving me your time today.